How's your Instagram game? Seriously, reflect on it. Be honest. How is your Instagram game performing today? Are you happy with the results? Are you happy with the engagement that you're getting, both from either your individual personal page or your salon business page? It's a challenge that we hear about from so many salons over and over again. So in today's episode, we're going to hit you with some key best practices for 2025 that can help you maximize your social media presence, your engagement, and up your Instagram game. Welcome to the Salon Scoop, a podcast by Salon S.O.S. I'm your host, Scott Moon, the founder of Salon S.O.S., and I'm obsessed with helping salon professionals live their best life. In this show, we shop talk all things salon to bring you real-life stories, debates, entertainment, and inspiration to help you find happiness and success in this beautiful industry. If you work in the salon industry in any capacity, this podcast is open to you. So set down your scissors or rinse out that toner and let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Salon Scoop. We are getting back into some of our roots today, which is social media and Instagram, a topic that we love and we hate, but it's, still a critical piece of our salon marketing strategy is performing well on social media. And I don't know if you feel like me, but it kind of just seems to gets harder and harder every single year, right? Those that were on Instagram, 10 years ago were killing it. It was so much easier to grow your following, to have engagement. It just seems like it's tougher and tougher. So today's episode, we want to delve into a little bit deeper some of the things that you can be doing with your Instagram today to really up your game. It's important to stay relevant on social media, especially with all the, platforms that continue to, to build. If you're not on TikTok yet, you really should be. And we've got other episodes that we've done on TikTok that you can check out. What I do want to highlight, linked to today's episode, is we've just dropped a blog post that is highlighting our top 10 salon Instagram pages that you should check out, follow, and model, right, as best practices for 2025. We've been scouring for the last several months and checking out all the salon Instagram pages out there. We've been getting recommendations from people. We've been evaluating them, and we've put together our top 10 that we feel really are excellent examples of crushing it on Instagram that you can be really following as a model. So highly encourage you to check out that blog post, check out those 10 salons that we've featured so that you can follow along and learn from them. Then today's episode, we're going to break down some best practices. With me to do this, as always, is our digital marketing social media guru. So just working so hard with what we do in terms of our content. So Sarah Perrin, you know her, hopefully you love her. Thanks for being here to share some insights again, Sarah.
No problem, Scott. Yeah, no, I'm stoked to talk about this because, like you said, this has been something that we've, been, doing a lot of diving into to try and find this like top 10 salon pages you need to follow. And it is so blaringly obvious, like once you are searching out certain of like some of these things specifically, how frequently salons in particular and just businesses in general are not utilizing all the features, and it seems so basic, but it blows my top how many salons I'm like, I don't even know where this place is located, or I don't even know what services they offer, or whatever it might be, kind of thing. So like, yeah, today this is just like a very basic checklist, and like you can kind of, audit your own Instagram to make sure that you have all of these things in place because it can be easy to overlook.
Yeah, we see hundreds, if not thousands, of different salon, Instagram accounts, and we look at them, we analyze them, we audit them, and the truth is that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. It's not easy to find ones that are like doing everything right. So we're going to do a bit of an an audit here and tell you where to look at the different, features and how to be trying to perfect your Instagram game. So Sarah, why don't you start us off with like the starting point, which is really, perfecting your bio.
Yes, and this is kind of number one. Like, look at your bio as like a digital handshake, right? This is the first impression you are making with your, potential guests, like existing ones, whatever. And this is where, again, it always blew my mind because I'd be looking for these places, and if the bio isn't there, I'm just backing up, kind of thing, right? So it's like your bio has to be in check. So the things that you need to make sure are clearly stated in your bio is the location of your salon. I don't know why this is such a thing that like so many places, but there's a lot of places where it's like not only do they not have like the physical location, if you're an independent suite or something like that, I understand safety reasons and stuff like that, but like a lot of them didn't have, again, like the address of the salon or even like the actual city or state that it was in, kind of thing. So it's like that is like number one. Like, again, I can understand for independence and stuff like that. Maybe you're not putting your home address if you've got like a basement suite salon, but at the very least, we should know which city, town, state, province it's in, right?
Yeah,
That's bare
because
minimum.
here's the quick reality. There are so many salons out there that have like the same names, right?
Yeah.
And so if someone's just like searching, online and they're putting craft, hair salon, there's, many, 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 many. So I need to make sure the one I'm looking at is actually the right one in the city that I'm looking for.
Not to mention, too, this does kind of come back to like search engine optimization because this is equally as important on social media, right? Oftentimes, if a new client is looking for, I'm just going to use my own location, like Saskatoon blonding, and you don't have Saskatoon in your bio, who's finding you, and usually Instagram is supposed to be this way to be able to, grow your clientele, have people find you, create brand awareness. So if you don't have your physical location in your bio, the people in your area aren't going to be able to find you, which is kind of the whole point of it in the first place. So anyways, that's a number one, a really, really big one, is have your location in your bio. The second is having a value statement. So I think of a value statement is like what makes your salon different than others? What maybe like you offer specific things or you specialize in certain things or you have specific causes that you're really passionate about, right? So again, like if you just have hair salon Saskatoon, kind of boring, right? But if I have woman owned inclusive hair salon in Saskatoon, that's a good value statement, right? Or all are welcome here, or whatever it might be, but having just a little statement about like what sets your brand and your salon apart from the next one, right? So that's another important thing to include in there. And then the third, and again, this is, I don't know why it seems to be something that's overlooked so much, but a call to action. So, again, why do you have an Instagram page in the first place? Is it to get new clients booked in with you? Well, if that's the case, then your clients should know how to book with you. So, if you don't have online booking, that's okay. At least having a call to action saying DM to book or visit website to book or whatever it might be, you need to have a call to action as to how that follower can do the next step, right? So something that's really big too is like a lot of like this call to action. It could be a link tree bio where you have, your top 10 important links. Might be online booking, might be shop online, might be salon blog, whatever it might be, kind of thing. If you do have a lot of things that you're constantly pushing people to your bio to find that link, then a link tree bio would be super beneficial. But yeah, like I say, the biggest thing is this call to action should either be a link to your website, a link to your online booking, or at least a call to action of how they can take that next step to booking that appointment with you or coming and shopping with you, right?
Yeah, love that. And quick secret Google SEO tip is a lot of people use Linktree, which is like an actual company. But we have mentioned this in other episodes and social media in the past, is we recommend that you actually create your own version of Linktree on your website. So you can just sort of design a web page that looks like the same thing with all these like buttons and different tabs to different things that people can check, but it's actually on your website. Why is this good? It's because when people click the link on your Instagram bio, they're not going to, www.linktree/ Chalk, salon, they're going to www.chalksalon slash, Instagram, links. And so they're on your website. It's increasing the traffic to your website, which is an amazing signal for Google to help you in your rankings. So we encourage you to kind of create your own link tree, which is not that complicated. All right. Second thing that we're going to dive into in terms of where you need to be focusing your attention is having diverse content types. We all know that Reels, right, became big, 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 over the past couple of years and need to be utilized. And it took people a long time to sort of like get into it because we were so used to this. You have your post and you have your picture, right? And there was like picture, 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 picture. And then it was like video, 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 video. And now, some of you might be using carousels as well. What's most important here is to be utilizing all the new features that Instagram continually releases, because Instagram will give that content more visibility in its algorithm for the ones that are utilizing the features that Instagram is trying to promote. Okay, so in today's world, the best thing that you can do is have a diverse content type in terms of type. That means some posts, you can still do some just images, right? Which is great for pictures of your actual work that you've done, right? Your beautiful hair or nails, or things in the salon, team pictures, staff, pictures. It's great to still do that. It's great to have reels. Absolutely. Video and short form video has become extremely popular, and that captures a lot of attention. So you want to have a very, um, I'd say a high percentage of your posts in video format where you're incorporating reels. Carousels are really, really trending on Instagram as well. And if you haven't done carousels, it's essentially a series of posts. It allows you to have multiple information, great for transformations if you want to show like all the steps in the process, great for tips, right? If you want to show like tips, 3 tips for this or 5 ways to get this, and you can provide that with like separate, almost like slides, and it keeps people on your post longer because they're swiping and looking at all of those posts. That's all going to be very helpful to you. Then when you're talking about stories, stories is also a content type. So you want to be utilizing stories and you want to be incorporating new features. Instagram is constantly adding features into stories. Like they've had all the stickers and the polls. And so when there's new things, we encourage you to try them. If you're not sure how to keep in touch, follow along on our social media at salon.s.o.s. We're posting constantly and we highlight when there's like new features or whatnot that have come out. We talk about them so that you can be kept aware of what's going on. But if you want to maximize your visibility and your engagement, you've got to have a variety of all those different types. And also in terms of your overall content message, don't just talk about hair, hair, hair if you're a hair salon, right? You want to have some that's showing hair final results. You want to have some that are showing tips. You want to have some that are highlighting products and how to use products to get results. You want to have some that are featuring, your staff, your team, what's going on in the salon. Mix up the actual content in a variety of ways. That's going to help you get the maximum exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's super important, obviously, having diverse content. But the other thing that's really important is cohesive branding. Now, there have been, over the years, there's been, an emphasis on every second post has to be an image, and then every third post has to look this certain way. I feel like that's become less and less of a thing, because as much as it is important to have like kind of a curated brand, I feel like with social media, business, personal, everything like that, we're kind of seeing more of a trend with authenticity and raw footage and just everything not being so picture perfect and like curated down to the last detail kind of thing. So I do think it is important to have this cohesive brand. So whether that mean using, the same color scheme or fonts or again, just the biggest thing with cohesive branding, and this is for everything, not just social media. This should be when people see a poster of yours out in public. This should be when people see a billboard or your website or whatever it might be. You want people to look at that and be like, that is Salon SOS. You know what I mean? It's got the navy, it's got the gold, it's got like the imagery I'm used to and everything like that. It doesn't have to look the same every single time, but that's the whole point of cohesive branding, is that it does have that feel, right? Like you want to make sure every one of your posts is kind of said in a similar voice, right? Like you don't want one to sound like it was written by an 85-year-old man and then the next by a 14-year-old girl, right? Like you want to make sure that you have a very clear, concise voice and feel of what your brand is, but that doesn't mean that every single last detail has to be curated. So I would say that, like, especially the new year, it's a good opportunity to kind of go through and decide if you want to update some of that branding. So obviously, if your color scheme is pink and white, like you're not all of a sudden gonna like change it to green and black or something like that, but maybe you'll make some tweaks and stuff like that in terms of like, oh, you know what, I kind of want a new script font that we use for certain things, or I want to start incorporating more of this or this or this in. So again, making sure that it's cohesive, but it doesn't have to be the exact same across the board.
Yeah, and Sarah has created an amazing branding guide that gives you different styles and templates to kind of like choose from, along with some of the principles. So if you check out the blog article, you should see a link to that free branding guide that you can get. Otherwise, if you're not on the blog and you're just listening to this podcast, you want to just shoot us a quick, email, contact us through email or on social media. Our email is info@salonsos.ca, and just ask for the free branding guide, and we'll happily get you set up with that. All right. Another big element that's often underutilized on Instagram is stories and story highlights. And I just want to say a couple of quick words. Stories, because they're actually very, while they're connected, they're quite different. Because stories is, quick snippets. It should be like, what's going on in the day to day? Share some stuff that's happening behind the scenes. This is meant to be a lot more personal than what you're actually posting in terms of like your reels and your posts or carousels. These are going to be more literally just little quick snippets of what's going on. Make it fun. It's like keeping in touch with what's happening during the day in the salon. Capture a few things as you go. Tell the story of your day, which is great. The story highlights, right? These are permanent things that you want to make sure last forever and ever and ever. And it's like the only thing on Instagram that actually is permanent because your feed, your actual post feed keeps, going down further and further as you post more stuff on top, and your stories disappear after 24 hours. But your story highlights stay on your profile forever. And it's a great place to feature key information. So I mentioned at the top those top 10 salon Instagram pages that we've identified as like best practices. We'd highly encourage you to check those out. Look at how they incorporate stories, right, as some sort of examples. You want to give people information about, how to book, maybe salon policies can be in there, information about your team, information about promotions. Uh, there could be, things about your values, things about events. Obviously, it's going to be dependent on who you are as a salon company and what you feature, but utilize those story highlights to your advantage because they stay permanently on your profile and can give a lot of important information to your customers at the touch of a finger.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's super fair. And again, like you said, like highly underutilized, which I know even like with my salon, I'm like, ooh, I need to go back and make sure. Because again, oftentimes you're looking at things from the business point of view. You're not looking at it from a customer point of view.
Yeah,
But when you kind of shift that, and like I would challenge like, all salon professionals to take, 15 minutes and go find, some local salons or some local industry professionals and stuff, and just like scope out their Instagram and see what you notice in terms of what's there and what's done really well, and then also maybe some things that are missing, right? So just kind of come at it from like the point of view of a potential customer, and you'll really get a good idea for like how much is lacking and how much is included in most business Instagram pages, right?
totally.
So I feel like the new year is always a really good time to do again like one of these audits. And Scott was mentioning that we do have a brand building freebie, but we also do have an Instagram bio audit too freebie. So that could be another really good thing to get downloaded, just that you can have like a step-by-step guide on how to refresh your Instagram bio, like we were talking about at the top of the episode, because that does seem to be one of the major places that salons and just all businesses are kind of lacking. So definitely reach out to us about getting signed up for that, because it's free and it's got everything you need to get started. But yeah, just in general, like we've been talking a lot about how the new year is a good time to kind of audit everything, whether it be in salon or your digital presence. So your social media should be no different. It's not just this extra thing that businesses have now. It's kind of a crucial part of your online presence, is having a really solid social media presence and everything like that. So yeah, just doing kind of an audit of, again, the bio, looking to see if you are taking advantage of all of the different types of media types that there are out there now, and just kind of making a list, again, looking at it from an outside point of view, and making that list of things that you can think to adjust, and then making a game plan to actually make the adjustments. So there's no better time to do these audits than at the top of the year. So I would definitely challenge salon owners to kind of take a critical look at their Instagram and kind of come up with a game plan to make these adjustments so that you're up to date and you're not kind of falling behind with social media.
Love that. I always say the best time to be, working on your business, or, updating your Instagram in this particular case, the best time was yesterday. But the second best time, since yesterday's in the past, the second best time is today, right now. You can always take actions and start making improvements. So don't worry about what's happened in the past. If you've ignored it for a while, you know what? Make the commitment to move forward. Social media is still a really, really important, tool in our marketing kit moving forward. And Instagram remains the number one tool for hair salons, number one digital, social media tool for hair salons to be focused on. So hopefully you got some great insights out of today's episodes on things that you can be focused on to revamp and maximize your Instagram game and presence moving forward into into the future. It's not just about a new year. Like, this is relevant really at any point in time. So hope that you got some insights from that. Let us know if you have any questions. We're always here to support. Reach out. Some things are confusing. Some things, people are not sure about. Understanding the algorithm. No question is a stupid question. Please, please, please remember that. We never judge. We're here to help the industry. And we'd have nothing, would give us more pleasure than being able to provide some insights, some advice that's going to help, one individual, one salon have a slightly better, success with their online results. That's what they're here. That's what we are here for. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, everyone, and stay stylish. Thank you so much for listening to the Salon Scoop podcast. This show is produced by Salon S.O.S, a digital marketing agency by industry professionals for industry professionals. If you want simple and affordable solutions for any of your salon marketing needs, such as websites, client loyalty, Google search rankings, social media, or more, come visit us at salonsos.ca or on Instagram at salon.s.o.s. If you want to hear more episodes like this and help us continue to bring the industry great content, it would mean so much to us if you would support us in one of the following ways. Either share this episode with one other industry professional, and rate the show on Spotify, or write us a quick review on Apple Music. We want to hear your feedback. If you have follow-up questions or ideas for future episodes, please reach out. DM us on Instagram at salonus.s.o.s, or hit us up on our website again at salonsos.ca. Again, thanks so much for listening. Now go get your hustle on, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on our next episode.